So here we are at the 2009 Venice International Short Film Festival of Circuito, and here we have Sophie Bramly. Hi, Sophie.
Hi, how are you?
Very good. And so you came last year and you came again this year. What's the fascination?
I think I have a very big sexual relationship with Matteo, probably. No, I'm kidding. It's such a great place. It's hard not to want to come back. So last year I was just showing my first series of movies, and then back this year with the privilege of being both within the jury and with the second series of films. So I'm very happy.
So in terms of your work on the jury, how do you see that taking place?
I was asking Matteo actually, because there are so many films that I thought have more than strong, not potential is insulting, but some strong feelings about what they talk about and how they're made. So I was just worried that there would only be one prize. But he told me that it was an open conversation and it could be more. So I was almost relieved, because I thought, 40 movies is, it's hard to only keep one.
And you've worked as a producer for many years. Can you explain a bit about your career and how you've...
I have a very odd career. I started as a photographer, and then I specialized in rap music way back when nobody cared about it. When the movement blossomed, nobody really knew. Having the photographs for press was fine, but they needed the story to go with it. So I started writing my own stories to go with my photos. And from then on, I moved to TV production. Started in France, a TV show on rap music. And then I moved on to funk. And then I moved on. I was called, very luckily, by MTV Europe to launch MTV in Europe. So I did that and started a rap show, which became quite legendary because it's Yo MTV Raps. And after 4 years, I moved back to France and worked in the internet for Universal Music. So I was still very much focused on music, and I like the internet because there's so many medias into one. So it fitted my appeal for medias, I guess. And I started getting really bored 3-4 years ago, because everything about music on the internet was about trying to stop piracy, and I felt like I was turning into a cop rather than use my creative skills. So I was quite bored of going to Ministry of Culture and complain, and go to that one and complain, and I really had enough of that. So one day I had a conversation with my daughter, very small daughter, asking me something about female representation. And I started thinking about, well, what's on for women on the internet? And I realized there wasn't much. And so I quit Universal Music, launched my company. And so we're doing a website that is a magazine and a store, but also a download platform. And the problem with the download platform was that we needed a lot of films made by women in order to appeal to women, and there aren't that many. So I started calling any artist that I knew in France that could react positively to my ideas, and then so far we've done 10 movies in just over a year, so I'm quite happy with the way it's growing.
So let me get this right. You had a conversation with your daughter, and it ends up with you making erotic short films.
Yes, it's very dodgy, isn't it? But it's because I made it short. It's not that dodgy. No, she just made me think.
Why do you think erotica was important as a representation for women?
Why? Because there are just two things in life, is eros and thanatos. And if we're hiding eros, then we're hiding the essence of life, and it's costing us a hell of a lot because we have to compensate frustration by buying makeup and clothes and many unnecessary things that are just here to, compensate frustration. I think that it's complicated for women today to be good at work and good with their companion and good at raising their kids and still looking good and doing sports and having the right anti-wrinkle cream and having the latest it bag and all these things is so much pressure. At 11 p.m., they're just yawning. There's no way the libido is still active. So I thought it's about time to do something about it because most of the time the guy ends up leaving for a younger one, not because she's younger, but because she looks exactly like the wife 20 years ago when she was active. So I thought, help women stay active and at least alert on the subject. They can decide if they want to, if they don't, but they have to know about the consequences and decide for themselves. And I think that if we do these things with artists, it's really different because it's very reassuring. Like when you go to a museum and you see a Louise Bourgeois piece of, male sex or a couple copulating, whatever, it's not gross. It's not seen like they see pornography most of the time because it's art, it's nicely presented in the museum. So I thought, well, if they're okay in the museum, maybe I can, have them step outside and do something that still looks okay and acceptable to women.
And in terms of on the jury, you're the only woman. How are you going to get your voice heard?
I think they're all Italian too, so it's a matter of language and...
oh no, Jackie
no?
Guido is not Italian.
Oh, okay, great. Well, I haven't met everyone yet. I'm not really thinking in that term, except that my judgment is very much, I'm more inclined, keener on films that deal with issues that I deal with every day. So I have my favorite movies, and I'm not going to impose them as being the only female. They like it or they don't. If my movies are not accepted by the others, it's life.
And do you have a favorite short film yourself?
Yeah, I do. I have 2 or 3 actually that I really like, but it's too early to discuss that.
No, I meant in terms of just from short films in history.
Oh, in history? That's really hard to say, actually. A lot of Andy Warhol movies, actually, because they're free. The idea is, what I like about his movies, although I'm really not a big fan of Warhol, but what I like about his stuff is that the idea is stronger than the image or the camera angle or the sound, or it's really all about, this is what I'm telling you. And I have a tendency to look at movies that way. It's not really so much for me. If the camera shots are great, if the music is great, if the actors are great, it's obviously all very much beneficial to the idea. But for me, if the idea doesn't come first, then there's no point in making, the nicest images in the world. They have to speak.
So the most important question, do you rap?
Forget that. Forget it. I used to flirt with the idea, and I actually appear in a record or 2, but very small appearance, and no, it's not my thing. No.
Really? In French or in English?
Both.
Wow. Anything we might have heard of?
No, I don't think so. No. One was on very small US label called Celluloid, and the other one was a soundtrack of the TV series that we did in France, so forget it. No.
So how did that go?
Forget it. I can't remember. I don't want to remember.
It haunts you in your dreams every night.
Yes,
right?
it does, but I'll keep my dreams for myself.
Just like good short films should haunt you.
Yes, absolutely.
Excellent.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Sophie.
Thank you.
Cheers.